We got Dan.
Kenny, what did you think was the biggest issue tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you could go two ways. I think obviously defensively we weren't very good. We're really good with Evan on the floor when he got off the floor. And listen, I'm just going to go positive. Evan was phenomenal tonight. That was a defensive player of the year. He literally held this ship together, gave us a chance. I don't know what we're from three. It was 25%. We got some guys struggling right now, and I'll just get ahead of it. Sure, 5, 6, 7. I would have loved. We're going for layups or drive it, So we're gonna have to really keep showing them, where hey, this is where we could drive it. This is where in transition, don't run to the corner, run for a layup. So I'm not saying it's 12 of them, but I'm saying 5, 6, 7 where we're jacking threes. We can do better. We can get a better shot. They stick in my mind. I can see the ones. So that's part of coaching. We got to coach them better there, Dan.
Why do you think consistency has been so hard for this team to find?
I don't know. I think guys coming back. Guys coming back from injury, guys, different lineups. We're kind of juggling a lot of pieces right now. So, people are kind of out of their slots. And young guys, we're gonna have some inconsistency. These guys have been playing incredible, and we're just gonna have some ups and downs with that. Playing a lot of young guys, but. What I liked, I felt like in the first half we lost our spirit a bit. I saw some slumped shoulders, which, resiliency and mental toughness is keeping your spirit right and your competitive spirit right when you're not making shots. And right now we're slumping our shoulders. Now, second half, we talked about it at halftime, keep our spirit right, get our compete level up, and I thought we did that. So I'm proud of the guys for kind of turning that, because that was the one thing I didn't like tonight, that we slumped our shoulders, we lost our spirit a little bit in the first half.
Saw you embracing TB coming out of the game there in the fourth quarter. Big time minutes for you guys tonight. Is seeing something like that something that you can build off of?
It's a great call. Because talk about a guy who hasn't gotten consistent minutes. Even against India, I've been dripping his minutes in, and tonight I just felt like, man, we need his energy, and we just kind of went with it. So, that bodes well. You play in big games. That guy's played in big games. He's deserved to play earlier, quite honestly. So I'm glad we went with him. I was really happy. No one works harder on our team than him.
Something that I've kind of noticed over the last few games. It looks like you guys get DeAndre involved early, and then sometimes it just kind of goes away there in the second half. Is there anything schematic?
I don't know. That? Yeah, we got to look at it. Trying to run it. I know we ran a couple ATOs for him, but that's not enough, right? We got to find a way to get. And it's really, we got to mix in more off-ball screens for him. He's good at that. More DHOs. We get, too pick-and-roll oriented, and he gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. So I'm going to take some of that. We got to do better. We got to have more variety in what we do.
Mike, I know it's a long season and there's 60-ish games left, but how do you keep the guys and yourself from not getting kind of frustrated with the lack of results early? Yeah,
I think, we could argue it two ways, Mike, right? Like, we could be 3-4 games under 500 too. So I'm not disappointed in the guys. I'm not down on the guys. There's like none of that stuff. I think my job is to understand the big picture and have perspective. And I'm not going to go into the details of what that perspective is, and you can have your opinion on what you think it is. I think we got some, we just got some things we're dealing with, right? And I kind of knew coming into the season there was going to be some struggles until we get everybody, in their slots, and I think we've held the fort with our young guys, and Donovan playing like an MVP. And tonight he doesn't, right? Like he was, it's there's probably 2 games all year he hasn't played like Superman. Tonight he was just good. We need him to be Superman every night. Quite honestly, and that's to be expected. I think it was a little. They got after him, got the ball out of his hands, made it tough on him. Credit to them.
Jeff.
Kenny, how difficult is it for your guys to not have a hangover after all the success you had last year and know that they're going to be a playoff team again this year?
Listen, we, I guess if we went to the conference finals or finals, we'd you could call that a hangover. I don't know if you have regular season hangover, and we know we have a lot. Said it in my press conference, and we have a lot to prove. So we still have a lot to prove. But I'm not. I don't think it's a hangover in the sense that we had a great season. Let's just kind of relax this season. It's not that. I just think we're dealing with a lot of moving pieces right now, and juggling a lot of things, and we'll get our footing. I'm confident in the group.
Ethan.
Kenny, you mentioned the defensive prowess of Evan Mobley, 5 blocks tonight. He was 4 of 7 from the field in the first quarter, and then just took 7 more shots for the remainder of the game. How do you continue to keep him energized on the offensive end as well?
Yeah, I was yelling at him to shoot more. Sometimes he can get too playmaker-ish. I thought he turned down a couple. They were playing back on him. Tonight he might shoot 11 threes, and I'm good with that. Especially with clinging in the paint. But I don't know. He's expended so much energy on the defensive end, and that's his cup of tea, right? Like, he was incredible. Probably could have been, a little more aggressive offensively. But again, that's probably like looking at the threes. It's like, man, can we take back 5 or 6 of those and get the ball in the paint, get him a little deeper catch, get him in transition where he's in the pocket. But usually when I rewatch the film with Evan, it's like, oh, he made the right play. He made the right play. It's like, so we're playing that game, Ethan, where I don't want him forcing it and having 5 turnovers. So, obviously with our spacing now, the one I thought of, he got in the pocket, he swung it to Zoe swung it to Jalen in the corner. Unfortunately, we missed a corner 3. Like, I'll live with those type of decisions from him. So I don't look at it with him like, hey, how many shots did he take? How many good decisions did he make?
You mentioned Lonzo there. He struggled to start the season from 3, just shooting in general. But,
Yeah.
What was the decision for you to keep him out there? Was it more height-based, strength-based?
Yeah, I mean, I trust him. I want him to, I want him to find, kind of find that rhythm. He was out, out sick for a couple of days, and I just said it's going to come. And I felt like when we made that little run in the 4th, he was part of that group. Got a couple steals, got us going a little bit. I mean, you got to go with your guys. He's my guy. So I'm going to keep going to him.
Bob.
You said the other day Sam Merrill was day-to-day. Is he anywhere close?
How can I, I'll just put him and Jared Allen in the same bucket. They're until they can really catch the ball, like. So I don't know what that means. There has been no setback with either. I do think it's been slower, right? A slow process. I know. I talked to Sam today. He's like, man, I wish this thing was getting better, and I'm still just doing everything with my left hand. So we just, this isn't a sprained ankle. This is like a hand. You need your hands to catch the ball, and until those guys can do that, Jay's got it in both hands, right? Like he's, and he said, I'm having a tough time catching the ball. We can't throw those guys out there under those conditions. Like, I wish I could give you. I even asked Sam today. He goes, I don't know. This thing's it's slowly healing. So that's the best I can do.
Last
for you.
one, Chris.
Hey, Kenny.
Chris.
What aspect of the team right now do you feel like demands the most urgent attention?
I feel like we slipped defensively. You know, and you're like, well, you shot 25% from three. How you know, like, you know, and I think what happens, it's like, but you know, we're missing shots and it's affecting our defense. It's like, man, am I going to make that sprint back? You know, we just missed 3 threes in a row. Are we gonna like, you know, still have that? And I thought we lost that in the first half, where it was like, man, we lost. I think we missed 4 threes in a row, and it was like, we got to be better, more resilient when we're not making shots.
Okay. All right, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.